Hello and welcome to the transcription explanation of this design. I'm incredibly proud of it and I think it looks really cool and I'm so happy I get to share it with you. So this design was written in this script and it's set up quite a bit differently than regular English, where instead of reading left to right, the general reading order of this script is bottom counterclockwise. That's why this arrow here goes starting from the bottom and then wrapping counterclockwise. And that's true for the sentences inside a paragraph, as well as the words inside a sentence, and for the letters inside a word. So if we look at this paragraph sort of setup, we have the bottom here, and that makes this the first word. So we see these big circles, the big overarching circles. We'll read everything inside them bottom counterclockwise, bottom counterclockwise, bottom counterclockwise, bottom counterclockwise. This word here is kind of the weirdest one because it's a transition between these two sorts of ideas, this line idea and then this idea. But if we follow the flow of the words, it's kind of between these guys. It's the word is. This is to. They're both very small words and easy to pretty well parse together. If you're familiar at all with the script, we can see the is and the to. And they're also not main idea words in the paragraph, so word order is pretty easy to figure out with context for is to. Yeah, and then here we have another separate sort of paragraph. Bottoms here, we spin bottom counterclockwise, and then we spiral inwards. So word circle start at the bottom, then you go counterclockwise and hand spiral inwards. So that is what this is here. And I really like the sort of depth and balance it gives to this design. So with that being said, I'm going to now go through and show you letter by letter how this design says what it says. So as I said before, this is the very first word, and this is the very first letter of the very first word because it's at the bottom of it. So here's the word circle, and this letter stem, so these four different shapes of the letter stems, is most like this stem, which is a circle on the line of the word circle. So this is the word circle again, and these are the consonant stems in black. So here we have that consonant stem, and this line passes through it completely. And line modifiers count where they end on a letter stem. So because it never ends anywhere on this letter stem, it doesn't count on it. So this line is actually coming from this letter up here and is not part of this letter. So this is just a TH, a no modifier circle on the line of the word circle. So this is the letter TH, one character for TH. And we continue around counterclockwise until we get to this letter. And it's a little circle. These little circles are all vowels. And they can be attached to consonants or they can be by themselves. And this one is by itself on the word circle line. So if we look at the word circle line, right in the middle of it makes it the letter E. So THE is our first word. So the, and then we continue to our next word here. And it's a much bigger word, and this is a word I emphasized a lot in this design with a bunch of concentric circles going around it stylistically. And it starts at the bottom here, and there's no letter directly at the bottom, so we continue around until we hit our first actual letter stem, and it's a circle inside the word circle, like this. And it actually has lines ending on it, so it has modifiers. So this one passes through, so it doesn't count, but this one ends on it, and that one ends on it. So that makes two lines, the letter P. And then we have a vowel inside the P, and it's right in the middle. And that means it's an E, or an I, or a U. And the difference between E, I, and U is that U is like E, but with a line out. So this line radiating outwards turns that E into a U, which is why this is the letter U, because it has a line going outwards. So P-U. And then we have a shallow divot, like this stem, with three dots, making it the letter R. 1, 2, 3. R. And then we have our next stem, which is another letter P, even though they look much different, because this one has the line kind of passing through it. Again, lines passing through don't count. We count the lines that end on it, and there are, again, 2 lines that end on it. So this is another P, just like this letter P. And there's a vowel attached to this letter P, and it is on the line of the letter stem. So again, gray is word circle, black is consonant stem, and on the line of the consonant stem is an O, and this O can be anywhere on that consonant stem line, So long as it's on the line, it is an O on that stem, because if we look down here, O are these guys. So that's an O. So P-U-R-P-O. Continuing around, here we have another shallow divot. And it being a thicker line does not matter at all whatsoever. I just have it as a thicker line to line up with this line around this idea, which is kind of the main idea of the whole phrase, but also a bunch of little words. Anyway, I played with the sentence structure to really add emphasis on different things. But anyway, this is the letter S. It has 1, 2, 3 lines on it, and these lines can curve. And they can count for both the P and the S because they end on both the S and the P. So 1, 2, 3 lines on a shallow divot makes it the letter S. And then we end with an E, just on the line of the word circle, just like that E. So P-U-R-P-O-S-E, purpose. Our next word is here, and it's a little circle, starts with a vowel, and it's inside the word circle, making it the letter O. And then we have a deep divot with 1, 2, 3 line modifiers. So this is the deep divot stem. 3 lines makes it an F, so this is the word of. This is not a complete word circle, it's just the line modifiers coming from the I and the S on is. And that means this is not a word because you can't have something count as both a word circle and a line modifier. Has to have a break in it, unless you're doing something stylistically funky. But our next word is this one. It's the next one after the of because it's the next one in line. And it starts with an L, a circle inside the word circle, with 3 dots. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, L. And it has an I, line radiating inwards. And it's inwards relative to the word circle. So even though this is going outside the big paragraph or whatever, outside the letter or outside anything, it goes towards the middle of the word, making it an I. This is a U because it goes outside the word, away from the middle of the word. So L-I, and then we have another deep divot with 1, 2, 3 lines on it. So that's another F, just like this 1, 2, 3 line F. And then we have an E on the line of the word circle, just like this E and that E, so life. And then we continue to that is, which, again, if we follow the direct counterclockwise path, we would see this one next if we were just following the outside of the circle. But if we're following kind of the flow made by this line, the is would be read first. And it was necessary to kind of fill this empty space in the middle with something. And again, just filling space with little unimportant words is kind of what you have to do to make something artistically pretty. So we have is, an I, line rating towards the middle of the word, and then an S, a shallow divot with 1, 2, 3 lines on it, so is. And then we have this word, and we go all the way over here until we get our first stem, and it's a shallow divot, no modifiers, so that's the letter T, with an O on it like a bead on a string, so is 2. And then we have our next word, bottoms here, this is our first letter, 1, 2, 3 dots makes it an L, just like that L with 3 dots, and then we have an E right in the middle of that. Continuing around, here's an A. A's are vowels outside the word circle, and then we have a shallow divot with 1 line. Shallow divot, 1 line is a V, and then we have an E, which is on the line or inside the consonant stem right here. An A would have to be outside, it would not have room for it anyway in this word. So leave, and then another word, the, T-H-E, just like this T-H-E. You can see the symmetry here, and I really like how that looks with the words the here and the there, kind of bordering everything. The, and then we have this paragraph. So we'll start at the bottom of the paragraph, which is here. And here's our first bunch of letters. And I did the word circles in this one a bit differently. Instead of making them complete circles for all of them, like this is a complete circle, 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 we have all the letters in order with breaks between them, like spaces between the words. So we have this shallow divot with 1, 2 lines, making it a W, an O inside the word circle, an R shallow divot, 3 dots, an L with 3 dots on a circle inside the word circle, L. So W-O-R-L, and then a deep divot with 3 dots is a D, world. And then we have the S, 1, 2, 3 lines on the S, so worlds, plural, 3 lines versus 2 lines on the W. So worlds, and then we have a breaker and a space, Then we have a B, deep divot, no modifiers, with an E right in the middle of it. And we have an H, 2 lines. It's okay to end the line on the I, on the H. So H, I inside it. And then we have an N, 1 line on it. So here's the N. And then we have another D, deep divot, 3 dots, just like this D. So behind. Then we have this word, which is a proper word circle. So instead of continuing along the line of this word circle, we start at the bottom of the actual word. We have a circle on the line of the word circle with 2 dots, like this, making a Y. An O is attached to that. A U, line radiating outwards, so U. And then we have this word, and I just stylistically filled it in black because I could, because there was nothing happening inside the word. And it's also a really important word in this phrase, which is better, which is, purpose, life, better. Leave the worlds behind you better than they were before you came. So here we have a B, deep divot, no modifiers, E hanging out inside it. T is a shallow divot, no modifiers, and here's another T. So these T's again look quite different. This one is a much bigger radius circle, whereas this one's a much smaller radius circle, but they're both less than 50% of chunks taken out of this word better. Then we have an E right on the line of that word circle, and an A again would be outside it, like that A. The difference between a TE and a TA is always kind of hard to tell because it's hard to see this invisible line of where the word circle would continue through and go through the middle of the A. And then we have an R with 3 dots. So B-E-T-T-E-R. So better. And then we have the inner kind of sentence circle. TH, just like this TH. A, N, 1 line on it, just like, I did another N. There's the other N. Than. Then we have T-H-E-Y, they. W, 2 lines. E, R, 3 dots. E. Were. B-E, just like that. B-E. F, 1, 2, 3 lines on it, just like that. F, 1, 2, 3 lines. O, hanging out inside the word circle. R, 3 dots, just like that. R. E, so before. 2 dots on the Y, just like that. 2 dots on the Y. O, hanging out inside the word circle, just like that O. And then last but not least, a U. So U. So these both say the word you, which is kind of a fun thing of this script, is 2 words can look this different. So you can look like that, and you can look like that. So before you, and then the very last word, we're almost done, is this word. And I have these 2 circles overlapped, which is perfectly valid as long as we can tell one is not a vowel, which these 2 are the same size, and vowels are noticeably smaller than consonants. So this also has dot modifiers, 2 dots on it, so that makes it a K. And then we have the A, N, E, and this is the word came. And even though the word came is actually spelled with a C in like normal English, this letter C is special, and you only use it in proper nouns. Otherwise, you swap it to a K with 2 dots. So C is used in proper nouns or acronyms or other special cases only. So yeah, you normally swap to a C, K, CH, S, or SH for that letter C. So yeah. Oh, and then this is a period at the end of the sentence. I used it to kind of fill in and show that this is the bottom. So that way you can figure out orientation, which periods are at the end. And the end would be not at 6 o'clock, but the next thing going clockwise from 6 o'clock would be the punctuation. So anyway, reading it all together. The purpose of life is to leave the worlds behind you better than they were before you came. Period. And yeah, that's that design, and I'm really happy with it. I hope you like it, and I hope this video makes a bit of sense. Bye.